All right, folks, so listen, we're going to take some time now. If you're watching this recorded, we do this show live every day, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Los Angeles time. And if you are watching us live right now, we're going to take a few minutes now to take questions from the chat board live. Crystal Lee's been monitoring and talking on the chat board this whole time, not paying attention to anything we're saying. And she's got some questions pulled out right now. So, Crystal Lee, what do we got?
No clue anything they said except that Christian and I are no longer friends because I love Daredevil. But I do have a question. Thomas Connors would like to know, hey guys, love the show. Question, if Tarantino ever made a superhero film, how do you think it would turn out and what character or group do you think he'd be interested in?
I've thought about this before. If Tarantino ever ended up doing a superhero film, I have a feeling while it would be better, it would be really in the line and in the tone of Hitchcock. I mean, that's kind of the feeling I get. I don't see him doing a Thor movie. I don't see him doing a Man of Steel. But if he were to do one, I think it would probably fall under the terms of a Hitchcock, which I think was better than most of us remember it being. It's just that a lot like Savages, it had a pretty bad third act. Yeah. That really soured it for a lot of us. But if you watch the first two acts of Hitchcock, I actually thought it was pretty good. And I think that's what Tarantino would do. Dennis?
Yeah, he would definitely do something that's original. He wouldn't take a Marvel or DC property. He would invent his own superhero that has some twisted, messed up, version, and obviously it'd be rated R, it'd be bloody, there'd be swearing and all kinds of stuff. So I actually would be excited if he did something like that, but who knows?
Christian?
I agree with Dennis in the fact that he probably would do something that we've never heard of, or a smaller graphic novel or something along those lines of someone that was a superhero. But if I was able to choose one, let's go back to our previous story, and I'd give him Blade because he's great with swords.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, he would do something fun with that.
And put Christoph Waltz in it.
Yeah.
Put Christoph Waltz in it, sold. Yeah. All right, Christy, what else we got?
Riki Kinch wants to know, should Joss Whedon remake the 92 movie of Buffy the Vampire Slayer? Since the movie takes place before the show, people wouldn't have had to catch up in order to understand the movie. And have Chloe Grace Moretz as Buffy?
No, move on.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, Whedon has moved on. Plus, he doesn't even own the rights to it. So he has no choice in the matter, even if he wanted to be involved with Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And they were trying to get a Buffy reboot made a couple, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, but they didn't invite Joss Whedon to be a part of it. And even if they did invite him to be part of it, he's moved on. He wants new things. He's got a lot of stuff on his plate that he's been dying to get involved in. And signing up for that 3-year deal with Avengers and with Marvel up to Avengers 2 has kept him from doing a lot of stuff that he also wants to do. He's got a lot of pull in Hollywood right now to get these smaller projects that are passion projects of his approved by any studio he goes to. He's not going to want to waste this time by going back to old properties, I don't believe. So I don't think so, and I wouldn't want him to. Christian, what about you?
I agree with you. He's not going to go back to Firefly. He's not going to go back to Buffy. It's like he obviously loves the fact that he was able to build his career and get his fan base from those movies. But yeah, he's sucked up in the Marvel world for a very long time. I mean, he's got, even those stories about how he was collaborating and helping out on Thor recently, they need him for everything. Going back to what you said before, John, in that everything has to fill this narrative. He's the main guy of the narrative. You have to ask Joss Whedon about everything. He doesn't have time for Buffy. Christy Swanson wants to know the Buffy movie, but he does not.
No, I don't think it serves any purpose to do a Buffy movie because, people who are fans of Joss Whedon, they're probably reading the comic books extended that universe, and so I don't see a reboot or a remake doing anything. I do disagree with you that I think he has a special place in his heart for Firefly.
I
think he's going to come back to it though.
If he could,
if he gets the ability, yes. I think he would.
I think if he has enough pull, he would do it.
I think from what I read with him too, he wants to move on from it, leave it where it was. He was able to come back and make the movie, and then and eventually in 10, 15 years, if he's able to do it, is it a possibility? Yeah, it's a possibility. But I just think right now it's the farthest thing from his mind.
See, I remember watching that at Comic-Con last year. He did that special, was it the 10th anniversary of Firefly panel, where they had all the cast, and Whedon came out, and that room packed. It was crazy. And listening to him talk about it, I believe he said he would desperately love to go back to that world. Of course, it would have helped if some of us went to go see Serenity when it was in the theaters, because that movie was awesome, and it didn't make very much money. But if he gets the opportunity, I think he would. But I don't think the opportunity is going to avail itself.
It's time. It's time right now. He's going to be sucked up into Marvel for a very long time.
All right, let's take one more, Crystal Lee.
We have phredjonze, which I know that I'm not saying that right because it's spelled very different. But will we ever see a Shazam standalone film? He's a great hero who also has a great backstory and great villains. Will we see this anytime soon? Bring on the filthy.
Soon? I don't know, but 2 years ago they tried. They tried to get a Shazam / Captain Marvel film going, and The Rock was signed on to play Black Adam. And The Rock was excited about it, and then much like The Rock's Spy Hunter movie, which was in development for like 3 years, it just kind of vanished, and then it never happened. Maybe because Warner Brothers was finally starting to get their act together and had a specific direction they want to go in. If Batman vs. Superman is the success that we probably all believe it's going to be, I think it's inevitable within the next 5 years we will see Shazam on screen, either in a JLA movie or in a standalone, probably more like in a team-up movie rather than his own standalone film to start. But I think we'll see him on the screen eventually, just probably not within the next 2, 3, 4 years. Dennis?
Yeah, I don't think soon. JLA maybe, but the standalone, I don't see it happening. But I do hope that they do something with him in Superman like they did in Kingdom Come, the graphic novel.
Oh, yeah.
That would be awesome. But yeah, it's way too early for that.
Christian?
I think there's other characters they have to focus on first. And I think that the other thing, too, going into the reason when Warner Brothers was developing the He-Man movie, they made sure to call it Masters of the Universe because He-Man doesn't play. Shazam is a hard sell name-wise, especially in this serious world, more serious tone that they're going with. But he is a cool character. Will he show up? I think it'll be a long time because they have other characters, Flash, Wonder Woman, they have all these people, the more recognizable ones first, and then the more comic book fans will see Shazam later on.
I agree.
If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to AMC Movie News on YouTube. It's free and a great way to stay updated with all the latest movie news and check out our daily show, AMC Movie Talk. Also, don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter to stay in the loop for our special prizes, giveaways, and contests.